好彩礼的。
I am a successful woman with high standards, as I should be. I worked hard to get where I am, so why can't men do the same? Every time I meet a young man, I ask about his salary, and every time I am disappointed. They earn nothing, maybe $10,000, $20,000 a month if I'm lucky. How can they expect to support a family with that? I deserve a man who makes at least $100,000 a month, owns a nice apartment, and drives a good car. Is that too much to ask? But no, instead, these men just play video games all day. They come home from their low-paying jobs and waste time staring at screens, clicking buttons like children. What kind of future is that? I don't want a man who acts like a boy. I want someone ambitious, someone who works late, who builds a career, who can afford to take me on vacations to Europe or Japan. And it's not just about money. These men have no manners. They don't open doors. They don't plan nice dates. They don't even dress well. I see them wearing cheap clothes, eating street food like students. At my age, I expect fine dining, designer gifts, a life of comfort. But all they offer is mediocrity. I don't understand why men today are so lazy. My father worked hard his whole life. My uncles built businesses. But this generation, they just want to relax, play games, and pretend that's enough. Well, it's not enough for me. I refuse to lower my standards just because men refuse to rise to them. If no one can meet my expectations, then fine. I'd rather be alone than settle for less. She wants a man who makes $100,000 a month but brings nothing but demands to the table. She talks about ambition but only values money, not character, not kindness, not even love. She expects luxury but offers no warmth, no partnership, just a checklist of requirements. Maybe the real problem isn't that men aren't good enough for her, but that she isn't good enough for them. My future husband must be a millionaire, no excuses. He should earn at least 1 million yuan every month because I am used to a luxurious lifestyle. I love shopping, traveling first class, and dining at high-end restaurants. If he can't afford my tastes, he is not worthy of me. He must be tall, with a handsome face and a fit body. He should dress in designer clothes and drive a luxury car. I won't settle for anything less. He must also be completely loyal, no talking to other women, no female friends, and definitely no ex-girlfriends bothering him. His phone should always be open for me to check because trust is earned, not given. He must spoil me with gifts, designer bags, jewelry, and surprise vacations. If he forgets my birthday or our anniversary, it's over. He should also be romantic, sending me flowers every week and writing love letters like in the movies. He must respect my parents and buy them a big house because family is important. He should also hire a maid so I never have to do housework. I don't cook or clean, that's his responsibility to provide for me. Most importantly, he must treat me like a queen. I am the prize, and he should feel lucky to have me. If he can't meet these standards, he should step aside. I won't lower my expectations for anyone. She clearly lives in a fantasy world where love is measured in bank balances and designer labels. Real relationships aren't built on demands and shopping lists. They're built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine connection. If she thinks money guarantees happiness, she's in for a rude awakening. A millionaire might buy her luxury, but he won't buy her loyalty, trust, or real love. Those things can't be purchased. Maybe she should focus less on his salary and more on whether he's actually a good person. Otherwise, she'll end up alone, surrounded by expensive things, but with no one who truly cares about her. This clip went viral in China. As you can see in the video, a woman rushes to stop an average-looking man to introduce him to her best friend. Her friend is single and hasn't been able to find a wealthy man for marriage. They have a brief chat. The man clearly seems uncomfortable during the whole interaction, but the women don't care. In the end, they take his phone number. I am 42 years old, successful, beautiful, and accomplished. Yet I am alone. People say I should settle, but why? Just because time has passed does not mean I should accept less than I deserve. I wanted a man who is tall because I am elegant and deserve someone who matches my presence. He must earn more than me, own property in first-tier cities, and drive a luxury car. Anything less is embarrassing. He should speak multiple languages, have a PhD from a top university, and never have been married before. Now, people pity me. They whisper, she's too picky, or no man is perfect. But why shouldn't I demand perfection? I worked hard, stayed youthful with treatments, and built a life many envy. Why should I share it with someone ordinary? Yes, I regret waiting this long, but regret doesn't mean surrender. I'd rather be alone than with a man who makes me feel like I've compromised. If the right one never comes, so be it. At least I never betrayed my standards. She complains about being alone yet refuses to see the irony in her own demands. At 42, she clings to a checklist designed for fantasy, not reality, expecting a flawless prince while time quietly proves her wrong. Her standards aren't high, they're delusional. She'd rather romanticize loneliness than admit that love requires flexibility, not perfection. The tragedy isn't that she's single, it's that she's too proud to ever realize why. I am a successful woman, and I deserve the best. But men these days, they don't even come close. If a man doesn't earn at least 500,000 yuan a month, how can he provide for the life I'm used to? I work hard, I look good, and I expect the same level of effort from a partner. Most men can't even afford a luxury apartment in the city center, let alone vacations in Europe or designer bags. If he can't buy me a Chanel without thinking twice, then what's the point? I'm not asking for too much, just a man who can match my standards. And it's not just about money. He should also be tall, handsome, never argue with me, and always put me first. If he expects me to cook or clean, he's already failed. I didn't spend years perfecting myself to settle for an average man who can't even afford a Michelin star dinner every week. Some people say my standards are too high. I say they're just realistic. Why should I lower my expectations when I'm at the top? Men need to do better, or they'll keep getting left behind. I want to share my feelings about marriage today. I feel very upset and tired. Women's standards are too high now. They want a house, a car, and a high salary. If you don't have these things, they won't even look at you. But it's not just that. The bride price is too expensive. Some families ask for hundreds of thousands, even millions of yuan. How can an ordinary man like me afford that? I work hard every day, but no matter how much I save, it's never enough. And it's not just the money. Women also want a perfect man, tall, handsome, with a good job who treats them like a princess. But what about us ordinary men? We have feelings too. We also want love and a family, but everything is about money and conditions now. I see my friends struggling too. Some of them gave up on marriage because it's just too hard. Others borrowed huge amounts of money just to get married, and now they're drowning in debt. Is this what marriage should be? I don't understand when love became so cold, so calculated. My parents' generation didn't have much, but they built a life together. Now, everything is about how much you can give before the marriage even starts. I never thought I'd share something so personal, but here I am. As a single woman, I've had my share of relationships, and one thing keeps bothering me. Men never really fulfilled me sexually. At first, I thought it was me. Maybe I expected too much, or maybe I didn't speak up enough. But after a while, I realized it wasn't just about communication. It was about their lack of effort, their assumption that their satisfaction was enough. I remember one man who barely touched me, yet expected praise for his own pleasure. Another rushed through intimacy like it was a chore, never bothering to ask what I liked. I used to stay quiet, thinking it was normal, that women just had to accept this. But deep down, I felt frustrated, even lonely. It wasn't just about physical pleasure, it was about being seen, being desired in a way that went beyond their own needs. I'm not saying all men are like this, but enough have been that I started questioning whether I'd ever feel truly satisfied. I never used to think much about these things, but lately I've noticed something that's hard to ignore. Women these days seem to have much stronger sexual desires than before. It's not just about wanting more, it's about how much experience they've had compared to men. I remember when relationships used to be simpler. Men were usually the ones with more experience, or at least that's what people thought. But now, it feels different. Many women I meet have been with more partners than I have. They know what they want, and they aren't shy about it. At first, I thought it was just a few, but the more I talk to friends and hear stories, the more I realize it's common. Some men might feel insecure about it. I did at first. It's strange when a woman has had more experiences than you. You wonder if you can satisfy her, if she's comparing you to others. Society always told us men should be the ones leading in this way, but now it's not like that anymore. I am being honest about what I want. Life is hard and money makes things easier. I've seen how some women live with the help of generous men, and I want that too. I'm a Chinese woman, and I'm looking for a sugar daddy who can give me a lot of money. I don't want to struggle anymore. I work hard, but it's never enough. I see beautiful things, nice clothes, good food, and big houses. and I want that for myself. I know some people will judge me, but I don't care. I deserve a comfortable life. If a kind, wealthy man wants to take care of me, it will make me so much happy. I'm not asking for love or marriage, just someone who can support me financially. In exchange, I'll be sweet, loyal, and give him my time and attention. I know what I want, and I'm not ashamed to say. My name is Licia, and for the past 2 years, I have been unemployed. Every morning, I wake up with a knot in my stomach, dreading another day of pretending. Pretending to my family, my friends, even strangers on social media, that I am still the successful, financially secure woman they once knew. The truth is, I lost my job during the company's restructuring, and since then, finding decent work has felt impossible. In China, if you're over 35, employers look at you like expired goods. They want young graduates who will work long hours for low pay, or they want someone with powerful connections, guanxi, which I don't have. I've sent out hundreds of resumes, attended countless interviews, only to be told I'm overqualified or not the right fit. Some recruiters even hinted that a woman my age should be focused on raising children, not chasing a career. But admitting I'm unemployed? That's social suicide. In our society, your worth is tied to your job, your salary, the brands you carry. If I confess I have no income, the pity in people's eyes would crush me. Worse, my parents would panic. They're old, and I'm supposed to support them. So I keep up the act. I wear my last good designer bag when I meet friends. I post old vacation photos online. I laugh off questions about work with vague answers. The hardest part is the loneliness. I can't tell anyone how scared I am, how every rejection makes me feel more worthless. I see my former colleagues moving up in their careers while I'm stuck, selling my belongings one by one just to pay rent. Sometimes I wonder if I should take one of those miserable, underpaid jobs just to end the charade. But pride, or maybe shame, stops me. I don't get it. I really don't. I've done everything right: flawless skin, perfect figure, advanced degree, high-paying career, impeccable taste. I speak 3 languages, play piano, and can discuss art, philosophy, and finance in the same conversation. I am, by every measure, a catch. So why are men so afraid to approach me? It's not like I'm asking for the impossible, just a man who matches my energy. Someone confident, successful, cultured, and ambitious. He should be tall, of course, with strong features and a commanding presence. He should have his life together. No excuses, no struggling, no mediocrity. And most importantly, he should pursue me with the intensity I deserve. But what do I get instead? Timid glances from across the room. Weak attempts at small talk. Men who act interested but never make a real move. Or worse, men who expect me to lower my standards, to give them a chance just because they showed up. That's not how this works. If a man truly wanted me, he would prove it. He would fight for my attention, plan thoughtful dates, and show me he's worth my time. Instead, they complain. They say women like me are too intimidating, that we're too picky, that we expect too much. But the truth is, they're just not good enough. They lack courage. They lack drive. They lack the qualities a high-value woman like me deserves. So, yes, I blame men. If they were stronger, bolder, more capable, if they actually stepped up instead of hiding behind excuses, maybe I wouldn't be single. But until then, I refuse to settle. I'd rather be alone than with someone who can't meet my standards, because I know my worth. She makes valid points about knowing her worth, but her attitude reeks of entitlement. Confidence might be attractive, but arrogance is not. If she truly believes she's flawless, why does she care so much about men's approval? Real high-value people, men or women, don't spend this much energy blaming others for their loneliness. Maybe the problem isn't men's lack of effort, but her lack of warmth. Standards are fine, but superiority complexes are lonely for a reason.